everybody, it's good to say that, but not everybody don't want to accept that.
True. Yeah,
I'm emphasizing on the word we talk now, and then we go next, right?
Yeah.
Because people don't want to accept things that happen in their life because they live in denial.
Delusion.
You understand?
Yeah.
Whether they know about it, whether they don't know about it, whether they're ashamed about it, or whether they don't want to accept it. So there are different concepts, how people understand their own self. People doesn't understand. I take time to understand myself. And I don't want to ask the question, why me?
Right.
Because you have to be me. If it's not, then it'll be somebody.
Someone has to be.
Right?
Yeah, so you're saying like someone has to be.
Someone else would have been it, right?
Yeah.
And I would look at them with sorry and pity, but there's no pity. It's just meant to be, because nobody wants to be disabled or lost most important things in their life, their vision.
Yeah.
Right? But it is what it is, The man above knows the answer for everything.
He does.
I'm not weakened by my disability, but life just roll on every day, right?
Right, true.
You want to hear this?
It does.
Every day baby born, right?
Yeah.
Every single minute a baby born, whether United States or some part of Europe or in the Caribbean or Asia or wherever.
Yeah.
And every day and every minute people die.
Yeah.
Every day and every minute people cry.
True.
And every day, every minute people laugh.
Right.
Every day, every minute people eat healthy. When every day, every minute people are hungry. Right?
You're true.
When every day and every minute people are richer, while every day, every minute people are poor.
Yeah, true.
But here's the thing for that. God didn't pause the world. It didn't pause.
It keep going.
To pause it.
Yeah.
And life goes on, right?
Yeah.
It goes on in a cycle, right?
Yeah, it did.
People struggles, the challenge, they make ends meet, they cry, they laugh, they eat, they don't have food. It's all happening every single minute, right?
Right.
So that doesn't stop the world from moving. Life goes on.
It does not.
If you look at the time when people are born, babies are born, and people are dying, people are hungry while some people are richer, people are crying while some people are laughter, have a good time, and it goes on and on.
True.
How is that?
The world doesn't stop for you.
If we look at it, and think about it and say, I don't remember my great grandparents, but I remember my grandparents both sides. I see them from when I was a kid, and they're gone. And my dad used to say, his father used to say, the world will come to an end, and he said that, and I think so, and my children would think so, or my grandchildren would think so, or my great, but you don't know when it's gonna come to an end. But if you look at the whole calamity that happens every part of the world now, when we have tornadoes touch down so many states, people dying, children dying, school children, babies, different states, Tennessee, Wisconsin, Texas, Georgia, so many things happening, flooding, and here's the thing, look at Asia, Korea, South Korea, right? And then Japan got a thing hit there yesterday again.
Yeah, earthquake.
So all over the world, things are happening. Look what happened in Haiti. 10 years ago. More than that.
It was 2010. So it was
2012.
2010. So almost like 15 years.
15 years. Yeah. Oh my God, time went by so quickly.
Yeah, almost.
Right?
Yeah.
Look at that tornado. I mean,
the earthquake.
Right. It gets a 7 point something, then it hit the 8 point something.
Yeah.
And that was the aftermath, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, the aftermath was. Yeah.
Right. That's the worst one.
Right.
It's a nightmare. Now in Korea, not Korea, Thailand. Thailand, over 20,000 people die. No, not 20, 2000. I'm sorry. Yeah.
There's always gonna
So,
be bad stuff, man.
Many more missing, hundreds are missing, and the rest that they survive are hospitalized, over 200 people, you know.
Right.
So hey, you know, we still living here. We're lucky. But how lucky? Anything can happen any minute with the power, the God of the universe.
It is crazy though.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, yeah. Anytime, any day, you don't know when, you don't know how. You could just stay in your house and then something happen, and then you can't do nothing.
Nothing you can do. Just to can't live in fear.
No.
You know.
You can't. Things that you can't control, like, you know.
Let me look at myself. If I have to live in fear, I would not come out here by myself.
True.
With no assistant. I live alone.
Wow.
And I get up in the morning. I get up at 5:30. I get out of bed at 6. It's, you know, whining. I want to get up, take a shower, shave, get my coffee, get my bag, you know, make sure my phone, and waiting for a call, for a lift, come down, and be on board. The only thing, I don't come outside and wait until the vehicle is there outside, because people can hurt me, you know what I mean?
Right,
they can hit you, take your phone away, even kill you. Because there's a lot of mentally ill people on the road.
True.
You know? So I have to look out. You have to say, protecting myself, my life. I mean, anything can be positive. As soon as I come out, they can do something.
Right.
You know? So I stay inside, and when I call you, I tell you, I explain to you, I need some help to the vehicle. You know, I came down, I know the surroundings, you know.
Right.
I came out with my cane, I opened the door like a pearl. Yeah, and I admire that. Sometimes when I get home and I finish my missions at the end of the day, I said, oh, I did it. You know? I did it. So that's a good thing to look upon, the positivities. You know? So if I live in fear, I would not get out. I would just devastating. You know, I missed my gym yesterday because I was so tired. I fall asleep. I had to pick up at 7 a.m. and I wake up at 7:55. Just imagine. Yeah. It was cozy and nice, and I get a good. I got home late that Sunday night. I went to bed like 1 o'clock, and I set the alarm to wake up at 5:30, which is my normal time. But for some reason, you know, sometimes I hear it. Sometimes I keep the phone with vibrations. So it vibrate the bed. And so when I get up, I turn it off, and I do my things. But for some reason, I didn't hear it. Then it tends to me, my body was so tired that it probably needed
the rest.
So I said, it's okay. I didn't lose. And today I have to go to this appointment, and tomorrow I'm gonna go. You know. But there's always a right time to go. If it didn't mend yesterday, it would have meant today. But today I can't. I do something else, which is constructive things. You know. Constructive things mean that I'm doing something for myself.
That's a good approach to it.
Say that again?
That's a good approach to it.
Yes. You know, always think constructive. Constructive is, it's like you construct, an example, people use the word construction. Like building a house, which is a positive thing. Or a building, or something, a road. In your mind, it's constructive. Your mind is like an architect's. It's design everything. It's just, you just don't need a master degree. It's just your common sense.
Common sense.
And you use common ground, how you can construct that mind into something positive.
That's nice.
You know?
Yeah, that's nice.
It's a psychological study, which I study.
Oh wow. That's good. So, how long you've been living in this same apartment? Like,
How do you what?
How long you've been living in this this apartment?
Yesterday I was thinking, gosh, it's been a while, and it's so adopted that I get achievement awards for being positive, of doing things for myself, right? So I was diagnosed in 1999 at Cornell, New York Presbyterians.
Yeah.
And I didn't believe them, so I told my siblings, my parents. My parents were alive then. And then 2002, I started to get dimmer and darker in the vision.
Wow.
By the time of 2004, I lost my right eye, and completely. Where on the left eye, which has a narrow vision, it's just, they said, from a genetic, right?
Yeah.
But on the left eye, which have a narrow, like when you have a flashlight, and you have to move that flashlight to do some things you wanted, that's how narrow it was, and one thing that I have to move my head. But then it blurred, and all of a sudden in 2005, it was completely gone.
Completely gone, wow.
So I have no light perceptions.
Wow.
So 2005, I'm looking at the years back, how many years I'm missing. 20 years.
20 years,
Long time.
Wow. So, and the ears too,
it goes with it. I have a type 3. So the vision, hearing, and balance issue. I swayed when I walk, so if I walk by myself, I end up on the road or tree trunk or parking meters or something, or the middle of the traffic. So I don't go out like walking. I cannot walk on my own because my balance trail off.
That is a long time, 20 years.
It's more challenging. It was a struggle then, learning how to adapt. And when I started, my whole life was changed around. Long story short, okay,
Right.
So I was married, and after losing my vision, I was abandoned. So
Wow.
I was struggling with the emotion of anxiety and depression.
Wow.
Because everything would go. I had my own house and family, my ex, and all of a sudden I lose everything like a tsunami. And if I hadn't had family, then I would have been like jump over the window or something.
Wow.
Do something crazy.
Yeah, that's a good thing you have a
People
good
like
family,
that, they don't want to live because the mind doesn't function right. And then I go to institute like the Blind Institute.
Yeah.
Where you taking me now?
Right.
I now volunteer as counseling.
Oh, that's nice.
So and right there have like medicals, fertilities, seniors classes, daycare nursery school for kids who's totally blind, born blind, from kindergarten to grade 1, 2, 3, and they get scholarship going to college, learning how to use Braille and different tools of adopting lifestyle, So I went there where they have adults and men butter men. They have butter woman, right?
Yeah,
so
sure.
Men get butter too from wife, beat them up.
Wow.
They dominate them because they're so quiet and humble, and And then I was so embarrassed at the same time I couldn't hear, and eventually I get hearing aids and I can hear people's story. I said, "Oh, MG, oh my God, I'm not the only one. I'm hearing people's stories.
Wow.
I'm much fortunate. I have
Yeah.
siblings, I have parents, I have helps,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so some people have nobody.
Yeah,
Some people
true.
have no siblings. Some people live in nursing home, assistance living, or senior adults home.
Right.
Where I have my own home. I live with my sisters. Got my own room, food, meals. I don't have to do anything. I feel like I want to maintain things, but my sibling don't want me to do it. My sister don't want me to do nothing.
Yeah,
She wants to do everything like I'm a big child.
That's a sister's
So I feel
love,
suffocated.
man. Yeah.
And so I started go to the program. I learned how to develop skill. The commissions for the blind came in, the funding support for me, and I'm so grateful. And after that, I can be able to stable myself. I feel like I can't sleep till 5 in the morning and don't want to get up all day. So that's the depressions, you know?
Right.
And so I get off the medication because the medication puts you calm and relaxed, like you're mentally ill. And I don't want to be that way. So I fight with the social workers. I need a place to go exercise. And then I find a place where disabled people go, more likely, I don't like to use the word blind people. And I started developing, walking on a cardio and doing ellipticals and exercising with weights, and I find myself, hey, you know, I can sleep. My body absorbs and uses up all the energy. I shut down at night now. So I find a solution.
So all you need is energy.
Say that again?
I'm saying all you need is energy, and then at the gym you found it.
The gym?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was a free gym. People donate this equipment to a place on 23rd Street called Vision Center between 6th and 7th Avenue. And I used to go there 3 days a week. I find solution. That's where I find grounds for myself. I see people like myself there, and everybody's so happy and jolly. Not because they have a disability, but they're happy to be alive. And they can do something constructive.
And they mobile.
Constructive, you know?
Yeah, they mobile. Yeah, they mobile.
Not
they
for
move.
me, not for nobody, for themselves. I do for me, right? Not for anybody else.
Yeah.
And so I get the motivation from my families, my mom, my dad, my sisters, my brother-in-law, and everybody support me, and I feel motivated.
Right.
And I say, yes, I can do more than this. So I get up there because it was so congested in that small environment. I signed up for the YMCA on Belrose, across Highland.
Oh, yeah.
So I started to go there, and for 10 years I'm going there. I'm still exercising 3 days a week. If I feel motivated, I go 4 days. It depends on some day you don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, so I started to develop, and I'm getting recognitions at the group and self-care, and I get 8 recognitions in 1 year. And so I think I can able to talk story about my lifestyle, and the commissions in the state of New York in the Blind Institute decided to send me to college. I went back to college to do my master in sociology. So I decided to go in the blind world, where I adopt tools. I get vocationals, how to use devices and phones and iPhones, you know. And so I move on quickly and faster, and then I slow down a little bit, and and to give myself times, and and take care of myself. Good hygiene is important. Wake up in the morning, say your prayer, take a shower, clean yourself nice, smell good. And that's make you feel like, hey, that's me. That's all about me.
Yeah.
This is how I like it.
Yeah.
So people are so confused. they ask me every questions, and I like to talk things about myself, and realistic things, things that everyday living. People that live life. But I don't talk about people really. I talk about myself. What I can do, how I motivate myself, how I get the support. I get the tools, I use them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah. Even a driver come pick me up at the gym, they go, you. Yeah, what about me? I know they're gonna talk. Can I ask you a question? Is this about me? And they chuckle, they laugh, right? They say, all right, ask me. But I'm not open to everything,
Yeah.
I said, how many days you go to work out? It said like 3 days, 4 days. But I didn't go for 4 days. Since Friday. I didn't go weekends because I was so prepared to go, like, church, synagogue, mosque, and everything,
Yeah.
So I'm multicultural. I go to mosques, I guess, Catholic church. I even went to Buddha temples. You know, I like to explore.
It's to explore, yeah.
Everything. It's a nice thing to learn. You know?
Right.
So you can able to like, what? Never heard it. So
Yeah.
I wanna learn myself. You know. So every day I'm a student. I learn too.
Nice.
Nothing wrong. You get older. The older you get, the better you are. Right?
Right.
You never heard that?
Well, this is the first time I heard it, but that's a good thing though.
The first time?
Yeah.
From who?
From you.
Oh, from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, you can do anything you want as long as you put the motivation in.
Yeah.
There's nothing that say you work 10 hours a day. I'm tired. I'm tired. Yeah, that's all you hear. I'm tired, right?
Yeah.
Because you're tired. Your body is not active. You're mentally working, not physically working. So your body need that exercise. Unless you have a wife and you exercise every night. That's different. But then you're gonna hear that cholesterol when you don't make one. But you know what? Really, you need exercise, physical exercise. And if you start now, I assume you're a young person. How old are you?
I'm 31.
You're young.
Yeah, pretty young.
I'm 15 years older than you.
15 years old. Oh, so you 46?
I'm 46.
Yeah.
Yes. So here's the thing. It's not about age. It's about you.
Right.
Number one. Always knew and said to yourself you're number one, because you know why? If the car breaks down, you have to take it to mechanic.
True.
You got diagnosis. You got to find problems. What's the problem? How about you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You get sick, right?
Yeah.
What happened? You can't drive the car.
You can't drive.
Are you gonna bring bread to the table?
Nah, you
Food
can't.
to the table.
Yeah.
Right? So if you don't take care of yourself, how are you gonna drive the car? So that's
so
how you gotta look at it.
Health is
That's
first.
a really basic example, right?
Yeah.
So you have to take care of yourself, stay healthy, so you can work constantly and bring food to the table.
Yeah.
You understand?
Right.
So that's important.
Exactly. Yeah.
So always have to look at yourself. You're number one.
Shit.
Yeah, you're probably at number two, but you come first, then they come second. You know what I mean?
Right.
If something wrong with the family, then you jeopardize your life for them, right?
Yeah. Right.
So you have to be strong enough. You have to have that energy. You have to, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
But the point is, to do that, because you're working mentally, your brain, your eyes, and on the road, right?
Yeah.
That's all. But how about sitting there for hours in a car, and you get up and your back hurts? You say, "Oh God, you're aged, you're like 65-year-old or older than your dad."
Yeah. Yeah.
70 years old.
Yeah.
It's because you're not getting the circulations. It's because the blood is not pumping properly to the heart and send it to the brains are so clogged with the roads and the traffic, especially when the rain come down.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare, right?
Right. Just like last night, yeah, it was crazy.
Good.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go to the gym. If you live close to a park,
Yeah.
you walk for like 40 minutes, 45 minutes, circle it, walk so many laps,
Yeah.
and you're just good. Once you keep it, you can jog it, run it, how you like it. Do some push-up, do some sit-up, stretching. It's your body.
Right.
You make it flexible. You married?
No, not yet.
Your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay. Any children?
Not yet. Not yet.
You sure?
Yeah.
They're not lying about that.
Look.
Don't plant your seed when you can't take care of them.
No, that's not a good thing.
You gotta plant it, bro. No children asked to come in this world.
Yeah, exactly.
You bring them. You have to take care of them.
Take care of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
But 31 is a nice age to get family settled.
Yeah. Settle down. Yeah.
Unless you wanna jump like a grasshopper.
No, that's not a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it's a nice thing when you to the gym, man. For spend on 90 minutes, an hour and a half. How much that could cost you? You go to the restaurant. You and your girl. How much you spend? $100?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you spent $20 for membership. You know.
Yeah.
You do yourself a favor.
Yeah. You right about that. You right about that. Yeah.
You know, think about you.
Yeah.
You know, if your cholesterol high and you have high blood pressure, you end up getting a heart attack.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So you have to do it for you, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody gonna do it for you.
No.
And when you get sick, the woman can find another man.
She's living. She's not staying.
Yeah?
She's not gonna
So
stay.
when you take care and you get a nice toned body, she said, "My man,
Oh
Crips.
man.
She gotta keep an eye on you."
Yeah, you right about that, man.
We got a Dominican girl.
No, it's a Haitian girl.
Yeah, Asian girl.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you never wait till something happens before it's too late. You know?
Right.
I never knew that things would turn around, but that doesn't make me. It took me a long time to be myself again, but yeah, you know, especially when you build futures and family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Cause you can't fight it. It's already happened. But I really like that you don't stay home all day. So you try
like
to
what?
find. I like that you don't stay home all day. You try to find things to do, like physically to do. I like that.
The air.
Okay.
Inside the car.
I'm saying I like that you don't stay home all day, and then you try to find things to do outside, like physically.
Yes, you know, the fact is that.
Yeah, it's windy.
It's listen, you know, I talk like when I'm writing a book or reading a book, but it wasn't easy doing things and live every day in my life. You know, some days are good than others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's you have to find common ground, how to cope with it, and you know, coping skill is something that we have to develop. You know, we have to develop this kind of stuff in our lifestyle. We can't just say, "Oh man, I want to look like Tom Cruise." You know?
Yeah.
And then you can look like Tom Cruise, but you don't have to look like Tom. You can feel like Tom. And riches doesn't come by wealth. It comes by heart. You understand?
Right.
You have a good heart, you can be so rich. It's not all about money.
It's not.
I mean, money is very essential, right? It's
Yeah.
very important, right?
It is.
But still, you can have a little bit of money and be happy. I'm using my stuff as an example. You know?
Right.
I got a fixed income. I don't know if I'm going to get my Social Security disability this month. Today's the 1st. You know?
Right.
But I'm on a disability income. And I don't know, since the whole world is changing now.
Oh man.
You know?
Yeah. We
They're
gotta.
invading the Social Security, which he promised he's going to protect. Right? There's no tax on it. Now, I don't know. So today's April 1st. Yes. So we don't know what's gonna happen, you know. But I'm not gonna worry about it because I'm only gonna disturb my emotions,
Yeah.
my blood pressures, my blood sugar, my body ache, a headache, and what happened next? Anger.
Anger.
You understand?
Yeah.
And so I know when you talk about it, it's gonna come back again. But if I just distract my mind from it and do something more positive, I wouldn't even think about it. When the 3rd of this month comes, then I check my account if my money is in. Then that's a different story, you know. So the only control I have is myself, my emotion, not the whole world, not 30 million people in the United States. You know,
Right.
I gotta worry about myself. You gotta live. Like I said earlier, you can't live in fear.
No.
You have to come out. And during the COVID, people still working, you know?
Yeah.
People still, not everybody stay home.
Yeah.
Like
I was still
nurses,
working. Yeah, I was working.
homemaids,
Yeah.
people who go home to patients and take
Yeah.
care of them. I had 8 come home at 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Help me cook, clean, do shoppings, you know,
Yeah.
laundry, you know. 8 still come. She protect herself. The bus was empty. At 12 o'clock, nobody's traveling. She's the only one on the bus, which she good, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I thank God I didn't have COVID.
Yeah.
I get the COVID shot, 1 and 2. I get the boosters, you know. But getting those things, I still exercise. I walk 3 miles on the cardio at the Y, burn like 600 calories, and then I do some weights, exercise. I do yoga. I do things for myself, you know.
Yeah, that's very important, man. That's very
So
important.
when I say this, it sounds like I'm reading a book, but it's reality. That's my lifestyle. You know,
Yeah.
it sounds so simple, like I can talk it out, and it looked like you had it so easy, but no, it was a struggle. It was a challenge every single day. Hitting myself, got chronic arthritis in my hand, my shoulder.
Yeah.
I have to do a surgery. I have torn tissue on my shoulder. I walk through the door. I don't see the middle, like hip. You know, I walk with a body weight. You know, hitting my knee on fire hydrants and tables ends that, you know, have the same height of my knee, banging in. And I love to walk. That doesn't stop me. I walk up my staircase every day, 45 steps every day. Because I want my cardiovascular to exercise, circulations, you know, and that's important.
That is. Does your you guys don't have elevator or like?
You have what?
Do you have elevators in there?
What?
Elevators?
What's that?
You know the thing that lift you up and then with electricity? Like a different thing that you don't have to take the stairs?
Oh, an elevator. Yeah, I have elevators, but I do it if I come down with the elevator, like today, when I go home, I walk up. I walk up because I make it a practice, a habit.
Okay.
So when you start do something every day, it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
So it don't happen when you make like I talked earlier, like coping. You learn to cope with it. It sounds hard, right? And my aide don't want to walk up with me. She complaining, knee hurt, and she breathing. I say, you know why you're breathing so hard?
Because you don't do
Your
it.
cholesterol. When your head is lower than your heart, you bend down and you get up. You know, that's your cholesterol. I'm telling you. If you have that and you go for blood work to your doctor, your personal doctor, not the doctor for LTC blood work. You go to your personal doctor and he will do a blood work, a general, your kidney, your lungs, your cholesterol, your heart. He will see everything that happens there. Yeah, he will tell you, you got to go on medication. But you can go on medication for a little while, but you have to work hard on it, exercise. Burn the liver fat, burn the calories, burn all that pork chops.
You're just scary. You're just scary. You're just pork chop.
I'm not scaring you.
No, I'm saying
advising
carry.
you.
No, you know the
Oh, doctors, yeah. Nobody wants to go to a doctor, but they're there for help you, to give you the right. Well, here's the thing, right? That you go to the doctor, right? And say, hey, Mr. XYZ, you take this cholesterol medicines every night when you go to bed, right? With a full glass of water. Eat healthy and exercise. He mentioned exercise, right? Even on the commercials on TV, they tell you when new medication comes, it tells you what you need to do, right? As prescribed as your doctors and direction, right? He said, take these medications once every night, to bedtime, and eat healthy. When you need a nutritionist, doctor, right? You gotta eat the nutrition facts, not a big portion.
Right. Smaller portion.
And it's satisfying because you know. But how you gonna burn that portion you eat in your stomach? You gotta burn the calories. So calories develop the carb that you eat build calories, and calories develop your cholesterol, fatty livers, you know, high, and that can take over your heart, and you can have problems later. And it don't happen overnight. But like how you young, I call that young.
Yeah.
Because when I was 31, I was devastating. You know, I was going through my blindness, and I never had anyone to. Yeah, I had family, but I never. I was so concealed, like keeping it secret. You know, like they don't want to talk about health problems or my vision, and they noticed that I walk into things, and you know, my mom asked me, like, "There's something wrong with your vision. You're walking into things, hurting yourself." You know, and I said, "Mom, I don't know. I have a night vision." So I went to the doctor when they diagnosed me, and so they said you can't drive at night, right? And I said, really? And I know it's dangerous too, so I stopped driving. And then eventually, when I lose the right eye, I had to completely stop. They give me a paper to go in the DMV and get a state license. And I had to turn in my driver's license. You know? And then my whole world changed around. So when you're 31, you can do it now, bro.
Yeah.
Don't wait till too late. You know, you can do it. You know, don't worry about it, honey. You know, okay, baby, we're going for dinner tonight. What are you cooking? Pork chop. Yummy.
Yummy, yeah.
You know?
Sounds good.
Sounds good, right? That pork is a very bad thing. I don't eat pork.
Yeah.
I never did because the religion, right? My mom is Jewish, my dad is Muslim, right?
Yeah.
So I never eat pork. And I researched it, it's not healthy. Doctor would never said make pork soup and eat. He would say make a beef soup. Right?
Yeah, that is true though. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why. He didn't say eat pork chop. He said maybe you can eat steak, you know, don't chew the meat, just suck the juice off, you know? Some people like eat the meat and chew it up and stuff, especially if they don't wear denture. I'm funny.
Yeah, I think that's nice.
Huh?
We need to laugh. We need to laugh. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice.
Where are we in the tunnel?
We approaching the tunnel right now. We're near the tunnel. We're gonna get into the tunnel now. There's a little traffic going to the tunnel.
Anyway, so
have any kids?
me, I have one daughter. Yeah.
One daughter.
It's a big woman now. You laugh. Yeah, she's about 21. Yeah.
That's nice. Wow. So like, has anyone in your family, like, you know, has
My family?
yeah, has this?
I have this disability.
Yeah.
I'm the only one. They say it's a genetic, and my father remember his grandfathers, and my great grandfather didn't have it. My grandfather didn't have it. My dad don't have it even on my mom's side. So it must have come from a fifth or sixth. But my doctor told me it could be you. It started from one person in the family, so I can be the first in the family. You know?
Right.
So they're always the first one in the family, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So, just like other genetic, like diabetes are different, cancers, they can be a genetic, but it's not always the case. You know?
Right.
My mom was diabetic when she was 25 years old, and she lived with it for 50 years.
Yeah, she could control
Yeah.
diabetes.
Both of them died in Long Island. Oh, this weekend we're gonna go visit them. We're going to the cemetery. But
just like you say, it's life.
it's like
Yeah. That is crazy.
when I started working, I was slender, I was slim, but I'm not heavy anyway. I'm 5'9", and I'm 183 pounds. But my doctor said I need to lose 10 pounds. Can you imagine? I'm a 31 waist, but I buy 32. Right?
Yeah.
But my chests are bigger, so I wear